How do I say subscribe? $20. $20. Put it on the line for $20. Hi everybody, it's Maggie, Mrs. Calabash. I know you're not used to seeing me this time of day on a Tuesday, but this is a special occasion. Wow. It's Derek's birthday and he's years old. He's catching up to me. He will only be a year younger than me now, so I've got to look for a new toy boy. So anybody out there? Yeah. Bye, Derek. No, we just like to say happy birthday. And we're just recording this for his birthday dish. And we've had to alter our plans a little bit with the circumstances. We were going to have Chris and we were going to have a cookout tonight. But unfortunately, that will have to wait until times are a little bit different. So tonight, or this afternoon, I'm making quick Saskatchewan chicken with noodles. And this is one of Derek's favourite. Instead of doing a cake, we're doing a coconut cream tart. So let's go back to the stove and let's get cooking. Come with me. Come on, guys. Off we go. So we've got our pots and pans. In here, I've got the water boiling for the noodles. And where are my noodles? Here we are. I'm using, today I'm using the rice noodles. I'm being selfish. Derek doesn't like rice. I'm not, as you know, not a big fan of pasta. I will eat a little pasta from time to time. And these are a good compromise. I can eat these and we'll just give them a quick fry before we serve them. So we want those to come up to the boil. The water was already salted and boiled. And for about 6 minutes, I don't want to overcook them because they go to mush. And when they're cooked, I'm going to drain them and we'll just fry them off. So let me put the pan lid back on. I'm going to have to keep an eye on the time so that we don't overcook those. Now, the chicken. I'm going back here. Just wait a minute. I need a tea towel. I like these tea towels. This is an old tea towel. It fits to my hands. In here, I've got a little canola oil. Now, when you make Asian food, don't use a sunflower oil, a safflower oil, or an olive oil. You need to get it up to a higher temperature. That, I'm going to move that so I can keep an eye so it doesn't boil over. I'm very good at boiling over pasta. So let's heat the oil. And I've got some garlic. Whoops, that's not garlic. That's for the tart. I've got a little garlic here, which has been minced. I just want to cook the garlic off a little bit. Sometimes you can put some ginger in, some fresh ginger. I like a little ginger in. And this, I'm making half the recipe because there's only 2 of us tonight now. So this is 2 chicken breasts which have been cut, sliced and cut into small pieces and coated with cornstarch. Now we've got to break these up again now because they've all joined together. The cornstarch does 2 things. Let's turn that down. The garlic's going to burn. Cornstarch does two things. A, it makes the chicken nice and crispy. on the outside. And I was reading the other day that the cornstarch actually marinades whatever it's coating. And so that's why very often, according to what I was reading, the Chinese and Vietnamese can cook the food very quickly, and it tastes so good and so tender. But I'm not an expert. I love it, and I leave that to my Vietnamese friend, who is fantastic. That's Tui, and Tui's food is it's a dream. So I've learned a lot from Tui, but believe you me, she's the master, or mistress, I should say. She's brilliant. I've never known Tui cook a bad dish, and I've worked with her for more years than I care to remember. We've worked together a long time. We've had fun. And the nice thing is, you always get to eat it at the end. Okay, so it's had 3 minutes, the noodles. There we are. We're just turning these over. I'm running out of space. Let me just put that over there so you can actually see a little bit more what I'm doing. Don't need a lot of oil, just a little, just to grease the pan. And the chicken is, I slice the chicken breasts that way, and then into bite-sized pieces, so they will cook nice and quickly. There we are. We just want to make sure, let's turn each little piece over. Yep, there it is. I'm going to turn that heat down a little bit. And you see, I've got my list of ingredients here. I cut down a little bit on the sugar because with being diabetic, I can't take too much sugar. And you can always add a little bit more. You can always add just that little bit more of sugar. So we've got the chicken and cornstarch in a bowl or a bag. We tossed it. We fried over a medium heat until lightly brown. Now we've got soy sauce, sugar. Let's just put this here. We've got the sugar, the soy sauce, there's the sugar, and water. Now we do have vinegar, so I've just got to check. That is the wine vinegar. This is the water. Just stir until the sugar is dissolved. Look. And we're going to put that over there. Now let's give this a stir, because we've got cornstarch on the chicken, so it will thicken slightly. Ah, it smells good already. Now I'm going to move this to the back burner, turn the heat down a little bit, and put the lid on until the chicken is no longer pink on the inside. Let's just turn that. That burner doesn't have as many BTUs in it. I'm going to check the noodles. As I say, they don't take long. They look cooked, but they wriggle off the spoon. We don't want them to be undercooked. They'll take... they're cooked. Put that one back. So I'm going to switch those off. We don't want those to cook any longer. So let's go to the sink and we're going to drain them in cold water and pour cold water on them. So over to the sink, come with me. It's over to the Casbah. Okay. Let's just drain this. Careful not to burn yourself because it is hot. Now we've got these drained in cold water. We'll just come back here for a minute. But get as much as that water out as possible to dry them, because I am going to just fry these. Now, if you don't put cold water on, believe you me, talking from experience, there's all the starch in the rice and they join together like that and there's a clump and you'll never, ever, ever separate them. I was taking a class, an evening class, doing the prep like this, getting the noodles ready. Somebody, I'd got to this stage, I drained them, I hadn't rinsed them. The phone went. I answered the phone, this was when I was at the cooking school, answered the phone, forgot all about my noodles until I came to use them in class. Well, we had to start from the beginning again. The ladies just laughed because there was just a big clump of glue. That's all it was. So always remember to rinse them. There we are. We're going to put these over to drain. Let's go back to the stove. I'm going to give this another stir because I can smell the garlic. Oh, that's cooking really, really well. We can turn that down a little further. Let's put this on the back. Now, we're going to make the coconut cream tart. I've already made, excuse me, I've got an itchy nose. I've already made the base. And this has to cook and cool. It's rather like making a lemon pie from start. I'm going to just dry my hands. And don't forget, we've got the towels here, but keep your towels clean because no matter, whenever we wash our hands, we're putting germs on the towel. It's especially important at the moment, as I'm sure everybody realises. I'm getting quite paranoid. So we're going to make the coconut cream tart. I've got a nice non-stick pan, and I was going to make this with coconut milk. I hadn't got any coconut milk, so I've just put some coconut, it's all in the recipe, some coconut in here. Just, it's been soaking most of the morning. So we're going to put that in there, and I've got cornstarch, egg yolk, butter, sugar. Now I've had these egg yolks at room temperature. You really need everything at room temperature. Now you will have 2 egg whites left over. And I'm not going to do it today because Derek doesn't like meringue on top of his coconut tart. But if I had those egg whites left over, I'd make a meringue and put it over the cream tart. Now you've got two egg whites there, so that would be 4 tablespoons full of sugar to the 2 egg whites, and that will make a meringue. Just whisk the egg whites very stiffly till you can turn your bowl upside down and they don't fall out. It works. And then gradually just whisk in a little sugar, beat it in, and then fold in the rest of the sugar, and that is your meringue. Very, very easy to make. So we've got the cornstarch, and that's the thickening agent. Cornstarch, cream and egg yolks on this are the thickening agent. So cornstarch. I'm not going to put all the sugar in. I'm just going to put a little in to see how sweet, because for the inside of the coconut tart, I have used sweetened coconut. I've used unsweetened coconut for the decoration, but I use sweetened coconut for the inside. So, and where's the water? Cream, I'm going to put the cream in there. It's 35% cream, so it will stand boiling. It won't separate. And where is my water? How much water do I need? Boom, boom, boom. Oh, I've just left a little milk out so that I can mix this up. That water is for that, just in case I need it. There we are. I like to make a slurry like this, and then I can temper it with the hot milk, like that. Now I have kept some more cornstarch out just in case it's not thick enough, and I can add a little more to it. So we tempered that. We're going to add that mixture and keep stirring, because we want to thicken the mixture, and it will thicken nicely. Well, it should do. Some recipes, and I'm very dubious with this, because you can curdle the egg. We don't want to eat raw egg. That's why we're going to put the egg yolks into here when everything's cooked, and we're going to cook it gently for a minute. You could do this over boiling a pan of boiling water, but it takes forever. And some recipes do suggest that you put the egg yolk in at this stage. To me, that's a little bit dangerous, because you can start to cook the eggs and it will curdle. It will turn out like scrambled egg. So this is the way I like to do it. Now, make sure you go round the edge and across, because it gets into the sides and it starts to burn like that. Now it shouldn't, but it has. So just go in to the edge. There we are. Just go into the edge. You can't hurry this. It has to go on its own. And I think I'm going to need just a little more corn flour in there. A little bit more cornstarch. It's not quite as thick as I would like it to be. I'm going to taste that in a minute and see if it's sweet enough, because we do have the coconut in there. So that's why I left out the cornstarch, just in case we needed a little more in there. I'm sometimes a bit light when I'm weighing up. Just a little milk to let it down. As before, let's make a slurry. Add a drop of that. Put it back in there. You can probably hear the hounds of the Baskervilles the seconded upstairs. They're not happy. They want to share the birthday party. This is a very strange birthday party. I'm delighted that we're sharing it with you all. I'm thrilled to bits, but it's not what we intended to do for a birthday party. It's amazing how human nature adapts. There we go, want that to burn. Let's just add, where's the spoon? There we are. See if we need any more sugar. Oh no, with the sugared coconut, that is good. A sweetened coconut, nice and creamy. Let's just beat up the eggs. And again, I'm just going to temper the eggs a little. So they don't get too much of a shock when they go in. I'm going to wash my hands now. There we are. And it just, that's thickening up beautifully. That's lovely. Now I'm going to leave that on there for a minute or two, and the eggs will just continue to cook in the hot pan. And actually, I'm going to just go over there and pick up a little more of the coconut. I toasted some coconut to go on the top, and I want just to put a little bit of that coconut in. It's nice, but I'd like it to be a little bit more coconutty. So come over with me. What did I do with it? Here we are. It's on the front. So look, you see, I've got nice brown coconut. Oh yes, I toasted this in the oven, about 350. The instructions are all in the recipe, but you can just do it in a pan on the top, in a frying pan, but I just wanted to toast it in the oven. It was easier today. Now that is unsweetened coconut that I did for there. There we are. We don't want too much on the top, but I like the coconut pie to be nice and coconutty. Now that's nice and warm. I've got a little butter here. This adds a shine to the sauce, and it adds a nice buttery flavour. And this will thicken as it cools. There we are. And that is a coconut cream tart. Or it will be when we put it in its case. Let's have a wipe up. Look at it. I think I'm tempting Providence, cooking in a white blouse, actually. Something's bound to go down it. Let's take this back over there because we're getting a little bit crowded on the workspace here. Let's go back. Right. That chicken looks as though it's cooked. Let's just pull up a little bit. That's good. Very, very tender. And I've got a little wine vinegar here. Just going to put some wine vinegar in. That adds a bit of sharpness to it. And some cayenne pepper. I like it hot. It just depends how hot you like it. So we don't want to overheat, but it wants to have a bit of bite to it. Should we taste that? I don't want to hog all the chicken. That adds, wow. Oh yeah. That is quite, that's quite warm, to put it mildly. So let's just turn that down, put it on low. We want to keep it warm. Put the top on. And I'm just heating this oil like this in the pan. So let's put our hand over it to make sure that it's hot when we put the noodles in. And we're literally just going to put the noodles in and turn them round. You can hear it. Ow, it's starting to, there we are. You see what I mean about the noodles sticking together? They separate as you heat them up like this. I want that to be dry. Let's get another tea towel. Just keep tossing these like this. Just for a minute or two, and then we're ready to serve. Want to make sure that they're separated and not stuck together. Let's take these back to the table. There we are. Let's just take these back to the table. I'm coming back now for the chicken. Take the top off. The handles get a little bit hot. I know I've got asbestos fingers, but sometimes I get burnt. So we, like that. Now normally this, as I say, would be served over rice, but you can serve it over noodles. And so let's just put some noodles in a dish. I love this dish. Sometimes I add a little orange juice to it. Yeah, yeah. There we are. Put that in the dish. The chicken on the top. And we have to decorate. Now, traditionally, this is decorated with green onions. But there was no green onions in the store. So we have to compromise. Unfortunately, I have some chives just coming through in the mudroom. And so we're going to put chopped chives on the top. You don't want to waste any of that juice. It's too good to waste. The hounds are at it again. Can you hear them? I don't know what sets them off. We've got 4 of them up there. Let's just clean that. And it looks a bit, it's nice. You could put some toasted sesame seeds on the top of that. I nearly put that on. But look, I've got a very, very few chives and a little orange just to, you know, let's just brighten it up a little bit. Like that. This was a little mandarin that I had lurking in the bottom of the fridge. These have been washed, so we just need some chopped chives over that. And this is what you would be doing with the green onions, so. I'm not going to waste them. A sure sign that spring's come in. And that is a Saskatchewan, excuse my pronunciation, chicken. Very quick, very easy to make. You could do some different vegetables to go with it. Bean shoots or a stir fry would be rather nice to go with it. But now we're going to finish off the pie, the tart. It's actually a tart because there's only one case at the bottom. So this, I made this, there's about 5 ounces of short crust pastry there. The recipe is for the pastry is online, or it will be online. But if you don't want to go to the bother of making pastry and you've got, don't go out to the store to buy specially, but if you've got a pastry case already in, a frozen pastry case, by all means use that. Let's go back to the stove, bring back the filling. See, that has thickened even now whilst we're waiting, and it's still in a hot pan. I like to use a flan case that's deep, so I get a lot of filling and not too much pastry. Now, you could put some whipped cream on the top of this when it's cooled, or as I say, some recipes have meringue on the top, but I'm just going to put toasted coconut around the edge. And I didn't even get a candle for him. We haven't even got a candle to go in there. Poor Derek. He's having a very strange birthday. He won't forget this birthday. One like no other. And that is Derek's birthday treat. So don't go away. We'll be back in a few minutes. I just want to clear up and then I'm going to serve. So I'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, guys, bye.